It was one of those things that was hard to beat, but Roosevelt did through his charm and talk and public speaking, was able to put his programs across and mitigate the fear that was at that time. When President had already started his projects, I could see the betterment in the economy. Even that young, I could sense that things were getting better. I at that time was out trying to make a few cents during the day. Yes, I guess I was 10, 12 at the time when it was really deep, and I was caught up into it, not as a worker or anything in that sense, but I saw my family working hard. When things start to shape in a worse condition, they only bring back the idea that the United States economy can be brought up by civil works, by civil projects. All kinds of things can happen. They'll always go back to his success during the Depression. My dad had a very thriving meat market business. He had it well stocked. Everything was going well, except that during the Depression, the prices started going down, and the competition in the two other markets in Anaheim just kind of run him out of business. So he quit. He closed down. I was number 8 in the line of 11 children, and they were out working, scrounging for jobs. It wasn't an easy thing to do. Food was hard to get to. I kind of scrounged. Well, I happened to go to a grocery store and pick up stuff that was ready to spoil, and I with my mother, we'd pick it up and take it home. I didn't feel any hunger per se, because there was always something to eat, but I do remember the scrounging, the hard work. My sisters going to work at 16 and 17 for $15 a week. It wasn't very much, but these few cents that came in from the different parts of my family, my brothers and sisters, kept us going. It was a hardship. I remember them working. I remember the hard times of having to go out and sell tamales. When I was very, very young, I went out and started selling tamales, and my mother was making tamales. We'd work a little bit. These are all home industries that started up trying to keep things going. It worked. People started home gardens. People started making their own clothing. It brought it slowly back. But I felt it. I think I'm stronger for it. I don't think we had any money to put in the bank. We only had, as I remember, 2 banks in the United States, the Building and Loan and the Bank of Italy, which turned into the Bank of America. It was going most of the time. The banking business, of course, suffers just like all of them did in the United States. Oh, I could spend many times probably giving you another insight of what I was doing as a kid between the ages of 10 and 14. It wasn't easy, but I was able to be of good health and good mind, and I kept up with all my grades and was able to get through school. My brothers and sisters weren't so fortunate. Because of the situation, most of my older brothers never got through high school. It was hard. Everybody had to work and pitch in. Wages weren't very high, and took a lot of work to keep the family together. I had a paper route, like everybody did during those years, in the younger group anyway. I had a little bicycle, a very good little bicycle. I bought it myself, working. As a young boy, scampering around trying to make a buck, I was busy. So I really didn't have time to get scared. I was never scared. I did see people lose their jobs. I did see a lot of people in the bread lines. But that wasn't easily overcome. Even to this date, I'm very frugal about many, many things, because things that come to people easily today was very difficult for us during those times. It took a whole bunch of my older brothers doing very hard jobs. There's a program on TV called Dirty Jobs. Well, this was a time when people got into dirty jobs and started working at things that they had to do because that's where the employment was. But the pay was very bad. You had to work long hours even to make a day's wages. But these things started getting better and got all over the United States. The people got back to this fair thing again and got past that. And because of the hard work of the president and all the people at that time who knew that this was a life-saving situation, everybody started feeling better and started that happiness again that we had during the early 30s, so to speak. Yes, I think everybody will know him and remember him as a hard-working president who had a hard job to do at that time. I don't think so. I think that people were starting to feel the economy coming back. Things were getting easier. There was much fearful, naturally. Everybody was out of work. Most of the people were out of work. The bread lines were going around the block. It was a bad scene all over the United States. This caused people to fear in that they might lose everything, and many of them did. I don't think anybody thought differently that fear was there, but Roosevelt was a promoter. He started instigating the idea that don't give up, we've got to do it, we can work this out, and that's what he did. Even though he wasn't much liked by many people, the fact remained that he was able to get the Congress to go along with his programs, and this little by little started the economy back. So this is where the fear came in. The people started losing their fears as quick as they started seeing a few jobs coming back into the workforce. I remember all the effects of this thing because I was really involved in it at that time, although very young. I saw these people. I saw these people losing their homes, people going into different work that they weren't used to because that was all that was available.
They had to.
Farming started up in my time. Many of the stores didn't function because of depression, but those who were able to hang on even during that time were able to put people back to work in Anaheim, and that's when I remember. The Civilian Conservation Corps. This was sort of a civic orientated jobs. These people were paid by the government to go out and do odd jobs, go out in the forest, build a forest, cutting down old woods, chopping this, building roads along with the rest of the people. So it was just a group of young people, really, as I remember, because I knew people a little older than I that were in the Conservation Corps, and they were paid very little, but they put a lot of people to work. The Civilian Conservation Corps. I remember that because it started up early. She worked during the Depression, and a little project started in Anaheim with families. These groups were sewing material for different uses as the government saw fit. So she worked at that. So I definitely was aware of what was going on. I was involved a little bit later in what they call the National Guard of Anaheim. When I was 16, things were still pretty rough, and I joined the National Guard. I told them I was 18, and because I had been already in the world a long time, I felt like 16 was well enough to go out and start carrying a rifle, which I did. I became a first-class sergeant. I had one stripe. We have that gift in the United States of fighting back. Yes, fighting back. That's what we did. We just stood there and did the best we could, and it worked out very well, at least for me.